Hey fellow leaders, welcome to today's Military Writing Smarter in 6 segment about slaying passive voice part 2, coming at you from the Military Writing Command Center. In the last video, we learned once and for all what passive voice truly means, how to identify it in our writing, and most importantly, how to restructure passive voice sentences to instead create strong, active voice alternatives. If you missed that video, I recommend that you view it using the link in the description down below. Today we'll consider how passive voice can be really problematic when we're writing to document important situations. And I'll teach you how not to falsely accuse active voice sentences of being passive voice, even though they can look pretty similar on the surface sometimes. Let's dig in. Look, we're all guilty of overusing the passive voice. We so often think or speak using passive voice sentences, so it only makes sense that we sometimes gravitate toward writing that way as well. But passive voice sentences tend to make things unclear for our readers and often leave out crucial information. Knowing this, it's no surprise that using passive voice especially becomes a problem when we're writing memorandums for record, CCIRs, and investigative findings. Check out these sentences that we could easily find in a serious incident report. The soldier was last seen in the barracks hallway at midnight. An EpiPen was administered on the PT field. She was told to report to CQ by 0530. The soldier, the EpiPen, and the female are not the true subjects here. They are actually just receiving the action, not doing it themselves. Look carefully at the verb in each sentence. Seen, administered, told. Who saw the soldier last? Who administered the medication? Who told her to report at that time? Can you see how, though these 3 sentences are completely grammatically correct, they really don't provide us with the full story? We have no idea who the true subject and actor is in each example. Once we provide that information as the subject of our sentence, our reader will get a much more clear, accurate understanding of each situation. Specialist Williams saw the soldier in the barracks hallway at midnight. Master Sergeant Dietz administered the EpiPen on the PT field. The company commander told her to report to CQ by 0530. By forcing ourselves to present our sentence with an active voice, we automatically reveal who our true subject is. Officers and NCOs alike tend to slip up on this when writing important documentation. If we're documenting a serious incident that happened during training, we may want to emphasize that an EpiPen was administered. But unless we use an active voice sentence structure, we'll fail to identify who actually took that action. To be clear and concise, active voice is the way to go. And the Army very clearly tells us, through AR 25-50 and all of our schoolhouse writing rules, that active voice is the standard we need to be following consistently. Now there are some tricky ones that you need to watch out for, and these are sentences that describe what is called a state of being. A state of being describes how someone or something is, not an action that someone takes. Let me show you some of these. I am sad. The road was icy. She was late. The commander's order was unethical. We don't have any action verbs here, right? And no true object either. We only have a form of the verb be, paired with a description or condition. No one is acting upon me, I'm just sad. That's what I am in this sentence. The commander's order doesn't do anything, it just is what it is, unethical. We call this a state of being, which makes sense. It describes someone or something and explains how it is, not what happened to it. Let's compare a true passive voice sentence structure with a state of being sentence for comparison. The CQ roster has been amended. Specialist Strickland has been on duty since midnight. We need to identify the verb or verb phrase in each sentence. Has been amended. Has been. Now in one of these, there's an action verb, a verb that shows someone doing something. It's amended, and the full verb phrase is has been amended. This sentence doesn't name who did the amending, but we know that someone amended the CQ roster, and that, because the object came before the verb in the sentence, this sentence is written in passive voice. The sentence about Specialist Strickland gives us a state of being. The verb just describes how he or she is on duty, was on duty, will be on duty, has been on duty. This isn't passive voice, it's a state of being. Here are 2 more examples, and I'd like you to identify which sentence uses passive voice and which one includes a state of being. We were told that we can't leave post. She is in counseling for PTSD. What verb or verb phrases did you identify? Were told, is. Who told? I'm not sure, as the subject is not mentioned in the sentence, but we didn't tell anyone anything. We were told something. Passive voice, passive voice. But the she sentence is different. It's providing us a state of being, in counseling for PTSD. It's just something that she is, a phrase that describes her. We're not talking about someone counseling her, we're just saying that she participates in counseling. That's a noun, an activity that she's enrolled in. Remember, in order to be passive, the sentence would have to show action being done to the object, like, she was being counseled for PTSD. Another way to think of this is that the only verb we have here is. Who is? She is. So this sentence places the subject before the verb, which indicates that it's in active voice. I hope this Smarter in 6 segment really resonated with you. You're getting a solid understanding of what constitutes passive voice and how to avoid being fooled by look-alike state of being sentences that are actually active voice. Next time, we'll close out our last thoughts on passive voice, including when you are actually supposed to use passive voice, if you can believe the Army would let you do such a thing. You know I'm here for you, and I'm excited to guide you toward being a more confident, capable writer. Like and subscribe down below. Until next time, I got your 6.